Hello, everyone. We're back. So here we go. Here's our second troop of the night, Comedy Flops.
All right. Thank you, Tommy, and thanks, RIT. We're pleased to be at Improvamonium again. We love this, and it's cool to be doing it virtually. Comedy Flops is from Ithaca. We've been doing virtual improv shows for almost a year now, and we found a lot of new things to find in them, right? New games, new ideas. And so I'll do a quick shameless plug. We have a show next week at 7 o'clock streaming on our YouTube channel. And we use our shows to support local charitable organizations in our community. And Ithaca Youth Farm will be the one next week. So join us if you can. Without further ado, let's do some comedy, though. I'd like to welcome to the stage our cast for this evening. First up, let's welcome Camel Treasure.
Ooh, Camel!
Camel, there he is. All right. Followed quickly the pride of RIT, Rigmarole.
Ooh.
There he is. Don't take any surgery from this man. Please welcome Dr. Brain P, DSB.
Earthquake, all you
DSB.
That's right. Okay, the 1939 Wimbledon champion. Let's welcome Joe Lobb. And finally, providing snacks for tonight's festivities, please welcome Hand Rations. All right, and I'm your host, Krem Fraiche, and we're going to start off with a game that we kind of came up with in the pandemic. We've created a lot of games in the pandemic. You'll see some tonight, but this game is called Karl Barks, and how it works is we're going to take a celebrity name like Karl Marx, and we're going to twist it up and say, well, if he were a dog, he'd be Karl Barks, and that's the whole premise. So thank you for your many, many amazing suggestions. And I'm going to pull one from the chat that we're going to start with, and we're going to start with Elton John. Elton John is our first name.
Passes counterfeit money, he's Elton Kahn.
Okay.
When he's in the oven, he's Melton John.
If he's in the sea, he's Elton Prawn.
When he's sunbathing out in the backyard, he's Elton Lawn.
When he's singing loudly, he's Belton John.
When he's just a tadpole, he's Elton Pond.
When he's dead, he's Elton Gone.
Okay, let's do another one. George Washington. George Washington.
When he's coming home from the bar, kind of drunk, he's George Sloshington.
When he's busy working, making horseshoes, he's Forge Washington.
Yeah.
When he gets a late night munchies, he's George Noshington.
He's got a lot of laundry to do. He's George Washington.
Okay, Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton.
She had beans for lunch. She's Dolly Parton.
Yeah, that was right out there. That was right out there.
Low-hanging fruit.
Right.
When she's decorating for Christmas, she's Holly Parton.
When she's got a projectile in her mouth and she shoots it out, she's Dolly Dartgun.
Bob Ross.
He loves his dental hygiene. He's Bob Floss.
When he gets tired of painting trees and goes to a smaller scale, he's Bob Moss.
When he uses a new type of enamel paint, he's Bob Gloss.
When he's the head of the mafia, he's Mob Boss.
When he's throwing things out, he's Bob Toss.
Okay, last one. Last one. We're going to go with, let's see, Douglas Adams. Douglas Adams.
When he can't find the perfect thing to pull his room together, he's Rugless Adams.
When he puts out salt for his plants in the garden, he's Slugless Adams.
When he spills his beer, he's Douglas Adams.
He's very lonely. He's Hugless Adams.
When he loses his face in a poker game, he's Mugless Adams.
Okay, I'm gonna give you one more because I like the
No response to that one.
I'm gonna do one more because I love the suggestions that our audience has given us. So I'm gonna go with Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks. Last one.
When he and his friend get frisky in the bedroom, he's Tom Spanks.
When he sucks at golf, he's Tom Shanks.
When he's in the army, he's Tom Tanks.
When he's grumpy, he's Tom Cranks.
When he's counting money, he's Tom Banks.
When he's
You
feeling
can't think
all
of any-
When he's feeling all military, he's Bomb Hanks.
Can't think of anything to say. He's Tom Blanks.
Okay, that's Carl Barks. Okay, Cam, I keep dinging out. Go, give it to us. Let's hear it.
When he's smoking the pot, he's Tom Danks.
Perfect. And on that, I will ring the bell. I will ring the bell of doom. Okay, and that is our game, Carl Barks. So we're going to play one that I'm sure many of the troops here have played. It's called 5-Line Movie Genre Scene. And how it works is we're going to get from you in the chat, hopefully, the title of a movie that shouldn't exist. Ooh. And when we get that, we're going to do it as a straight scene. And then, one by one, we'll come in and we'll deliver a line, build the scene, and then we'll ask you in the chat box to give us different movie styles, and we'll recreate that same scene but in those different genres. So the first thing we need is a title of a movie that should never be made, and here they come, yes! And then also, if you want, put different movie genres in the chat, and that will get us started. But while you're doing that, I'm going to look up and I'm going to pick one, and oh wow, I love these. I love these.
These are good. These are good.
I gotta go with A Passionate Night with Mac and Cheese, I think. So thanks, who put that one in? RIT, foul play, yay. Passionate Night with Mac and Cheese, and since there are 6 cast members, it'll be 6-line movie genre scene tonight. Okay.
Oh, I'm so digging into you.
I love it when you pull me and make me all stringy.
But who's going to wash all the dishes?
Kraft's got nothing on you, baby.
Mac and cheese and red wine does not mix.
Oh, gosh, could you all put your clothes back on?
Okay, so that's the establishing scene for our movie, A Passionate Night with Mac and Cheese. So let's see it now in a couple of different genre styles. They're starting to come in the chat, so we'll give them just a second to come in. Okay, well, let's start with, we've got a couple, so let's see it in film noir.
The bull came into my office. He was smoking a cigarette.
I liked it when things got all stringy and cheesy.
But as I smoked my second cigarette, I wondered who was going to wash all those dishes.
You got nothing on this Kraft guy.
Mac and cheese and red wine should not be mixing.
They said the clothes made the man, but seeing as your lack of wearing anything, you're not much of a man.
Okay, let's see it again now as a documentary. Let's see it as a documentary.
He prepares to dig his spoon into the delicious mac and cheese.
Most people don't know that the tensile strength of this cheese makes it extra stringy.
On the other hand, very few people know that this house has a carefully organized plan for who will wash the dishes after each meal.
Yes, some say Kraft would be the cheesiest, but in nature, this is, in fact, a lie.
And on that day, for the first time ever, mac and cheese and red wine made a beautiful creation.
As the creatures were advanced enough to have clothing, they all refused to wear it.
Okay, let's see it as a children's entertainment program. Children's entertainment program.
Hey kids, it's time to eat our mac and cheese.
Uncle Goofy likes it when it's stringy and pulley.
And afterwards, you can have the fun of helping Mommy wash all these dishes.
Oh boy, brought to you by our corporate sponsors, Kraft.
Mac and cheese plus red wine equals what?
Oh boy, everybody's naked!
Okay, let's see it now as, oh gosh, there's so many good ones. it's like they all know improv or something. I don't know. Like they're funny people. Let's do it as a music video. Let's do it as a music video.
Gonna dig my spoon right into your moist.
I love it when everything is nice and stringy.
And you scrub and you scrub and you put it in the tub.
Kraft's got nothing on you, girl.
I got my mac and cheese. I got my red wine. I can't sing. I'm better than you.
Everybody put your clothes back on.
Okay, and that is 5, or in this case 6-line movie genre scene. Excuse me. All right, let's see what we have in the suggestion box. All right, so we're going to play a new game that we've made up, and it's called Would I Lie to You? So in the suggestion box, what we need from you now is to put in just something, any topic that you would like the flops to talk about. Could be any topic at all. Just pop it in there, and we will tell a story about it. And how the game works, while we're waiting for those suggestions, is 2 flops will tell a story. They can lie, they can tell the truth. They have to pick one or the other, and they're going to tell us about a 2-minute story each. And then the flops will try and figure out if they were lying or if they were telling the truth. And so each storyteller gets points for fooling a flop. And the other thing, while we're doing that, you, the audience, after you hear the stories, can vote on which story you liked better. And whichever story that was, the person who wins that gets a bonus point. And sometimes that tips us to a champion. So that is a very important part of our process. So, all right, we've got a couple of suggestions. I have to pick contestants for this game. Let me see. It's so exciting. It's so difficult. So our first storyteller tonight will be Rigmarole, and our second storyteller will be Hand Rations. And they will be talking about their best Christmas or related holiday ever, because we're inclusive here at Improvamonium. So, Riggy and Hand Rations, we want to hear about your best holiday story ever. And you have 2 minutes.
Okay. So it was the perhaps 2 summers or 2 winters after I had graduated from high school, and I was in my living room. It was after Christmas, a couple weeks after Christmas, and our tree was extremely dry. This was before we moved to fake trees. We had the tree in the living room, and we had to move the tree from the living room out the other side of the house because that's where the big door was. And my parents never let us have a small tree, and by my parents I meant me. No small trees. We always get big trees. So we have to drag this thing across the house. My family has a wood stove, okay? And it's in the middle of the room between the living room and the door on the other side that we can get this thing out of. The tree comes down, we start dragging it across the room, and we hit the wood stove, and it falls over. Smoke is pouring out of this thing, and this is one with a tube that hits up into the wall, and the thing starts smoking. But we have fireproof gloves right next to the wood stove, and my father has to get down and pick it up and put it back up. And of course, I'm sitting there in the smoke's getting all up in my face. Fortunately, no burns on me. I think my father might have burnt his leg a little bit. I was good. And there's still a mark on the floor, and it was just after we replaced the living room floor from where the wood stove hit. We got it back up, we got it in the wall, and we never had another real tree ever again. It's a fake tree from then on.
Do I just go now or?
Yeah, come on in.
Okay.
The water's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So my best Christmas gift thing. So when I was 5 years old, my parents got us like these little they were called plasma cars. And what they basically were they were these little mini cars you could just drive around inside or outside. It's really giving us the feeling of driving for the first time without giving us the feeling of, oh crap, I'm on the road and this is a dangerous vehicle. It's small car that kids could drive around. And the whole thing was like, oh, it's fun. You can make a little racetrack, that sort of thing. No, we like to use them as bumper cars. There's a thing on the label for the packaging. Do not use these as bumper cars. So of course, reverse psychology, kids just love to just run them into each other. We started out with 4, went down to 1 very quickly. And the day after Christmas, my brother had one of his friends, best friends at the time, over. And being my brother, he just decided to take a nap during the middle of the day. So we have this friend who's just over here, just ready to hang out with my older brother, just kind of what do I do now? And you have me just running into the wall in these plasma cars. So what do we do then? We decide, let's make up a game where we take all the new baby dolls that I also got for Christmas and just throw them at each other while we ride around in these cars. And looking back, it is not the best behavior, but it was a very fun game at the time, and it got me a new friend. So, best Christmas.
Okay, hand rations. So we've heard 2 very, very compelling holiday stories. And so for our audience, what we want you to start to do in the chat is start putting in either hand rations or Riggy for whoever you think had the better story of the 2. But meanwhile, let's have all the flops back on stage, and we are going to examine these stories and see who is, I guess I should put my camera on too. There we go. 1 glass of wine, and we'll see who is the best fooler of flops. All right, so let's start with Riggy's story. The almost burned down house, it sounded like. Give a big thumbs up with your reaction if you think Riggy was telling the truth.
I vote.
I believe he was telling the truth.
Okay, it looks like only one. So 1 flop says that Riggy was telling the truth, and 3 voting flops, because hand rations told the story, 3 voting flops say no. Riggy, was your story true?
No, I was not there.
He was not there. Oh, Riggy didn't fool many people. So Riggy only gets 1 point in that round. He did fool Dr. Brain P. Okay, so let's move on now, and let's see how hand rations did. Give a big thumbs up if you think hand rations story was true. I see 3 thumbs. Joe Lobb looks like the naysayer in the group. Everybody voted. Okay, 3 of us say hand rations was telling the truth, but Joe Lobb says no freaking way. Hand rations, was your story true?
That was not a Christmas story.
Oh, hand rations fools 3 of us, but she didn't fool Joe Lobb, so she gets 2 points. So she is leading Riggy 2-1. So on the surface, it would look to me like hand rations won, but we have an audience vote. And let's see if Riggy can at least work out the tie. So let's see here. Hand rations. Oh, Riggy.
It's not looking good, folks.
It's not looking good.
Well, I mean, it's looking good for you, hand rations. But
it's been great for hand rations, yeah. Based on audience vote by about a 2-1 margin, it looks like hand rations had the more popular story. And therefore, hand rations tonight is our winner of Would I Lie to You?
I would have voted for you.
That's good to
Thank
know.
you, I would have voted for you.
Might have helped
made me laugh.
Now you canceled each other out. Oh my gosh. Well, interestingly enough, the phrase of the night happens to be, I would have voted for you. And Flops, what does that mean? It's time to play Camel or Cabbage. Yeah, so tonight's thing is, you love it. That's right. It's the Orb of Corruption. So Flops, I need you to tell me, Orb of Corruption, Camel or Cabbage? Starting with, let me see, Camel Treasure, Orb of Corruption. Here, get a good look at it.
Turn it upside down? Upside down?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's very clearly, obviously a cabbage. I mean, it just, the shape is perfect. It looks like it has many layers. There's no doubt that is a cabbage. That's my answer.
Okay, Camel Treasure says cabbage. Ricky Moreau, what do you think? Orb of
I've
corruption.
spent many a time traveling on camels. And you know what? I judge things whether or not they're camels or cabbages based on how comfortable they look to ride. If I was a small, tiny, miniature person, I'd ride that. I would ride that across a river or something.
Kind of like one
Camel.
of those old hoppity hop things?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying camel, it sounds like.
I'm saying camel.
Okay.
100%.
Good. One camel, one cabbage. Dr. Brainpea, what do you think?
Now, here's the thing. It's hard because it's got like the stem is coming up. It's like a leg with a hoof. It's on the top. But we have to take in the scientific theory of the Missy Elliott work it theory. All right, you got to put your thing down, flip it, and reverse it. And that's how you come around. It holds water. It goes there. Therefore, via this theory, and I tell you all the intricacies, but I'm not Google. Sorry, but
we need an answer. Camel. Okay. Hand rations. Camel or cabbage?
I say camel because it has a hole in it.
Okay. Obvious. Joe Lob.
I got to go with cabbage because cabbage, if left alone, will eventually become corrupt. Camels are mean and nasty, and then they die.
So you're saying cabbage?
I'm saying cabbage, yeah.
Ordinarily, this object would in fact be camel, but Joe Lob has nailed it because this is in fact the orb of corruption. It is in fact a cabbage. And thank you. That is camel or cabbage, which means it's time now to go to Last Flop Standing. So how we're going to play Last Flop Standing is we got suggestions from you of things flops could debate about. And this game is about a 3-minute game. A flop will start talking about a topic. At any other point, another flop can raise their hand, say, no, I disagree. I'll hear their argument. I'll rule either for or against them. Last flop standing at the end of time is the winner. And so our topic for Last Flop Standing is country music versus disco music, which is better? And Riggy, start us off.
Okay, it's a very difficult subject, I would say, which has better dancing. Disco by far, baby. And I love country music, don't get me wrong, but if I'm gonna get down, if I have a choice, I'm grooving to some disco music. I'm talking I'm talking Earth, Wind, Fire. I'm talking Groove-a-tron. I'm talking
Dr. Brainpea.
Earth, Wind, Fire, not disco, strictly funk.
That's true.
All right. So, I mean, he's on a point here. Okay. So, yeah, disco, you want to get down, you want to boogie, oogie, Julie, you just can't boogie no more. Disco's your way to go. But sometimes that's not where you're at. I mean, where we are in Ithaca, where are you going to disco? Nowhere. But where are you going to go get down at the hold down and get your boots out and just whoo!
Joe Lob.
Yeah, Dr. Brainpea has a point. We were talking about a time slip here. I mean, there still is country music, but disco, where to go?
Good point.
Many people are very happy that it's not on the scene anymore, but there are a lot of people who are disappointed. I would say it's a matter of taste. So you call it. If you like disco, then disco's your thing.
Hand rations.
You said it was a matter of taste. It's much easier to eat a disco ball than to eat an entire country.
That's true, but irrelevant. Keep going, Joe.
Yeah, depends. Some countries are very, very small. I mean, those little emirates.
Yeah, Riggy.
Well, he said it was a matter of taste, and you listen to music, you don't lick it.
That's true.
I have never been to any concert where I have licked anything but the lead guitarist.
Brainpea.
He's obviously never been in a crowd where you're forced to lick somebody. It just
That's
happens.
true. Yeah.
I mean, like, you're packed in there. It's a disco floor. I mean, they're like, we cram them in there, It's like everybody's trying to boogie down, and it's just, asses to elbows in there. And what are you going to do? You're like, oh, there's something. Oh, I accidentally licked somebody's shirt. Oh, it kind of tasted good. Kind of tasted like cologne, a little like alcohol, a little like barf. I don't know what they did. So it just happens. You lick people. It just.
Joe Lob.
Now you've introduced punk into the mix, because compared to punk, disco dancing is spacious and wide, but punk, you really are jammed like sardines.
That's true, and that's time. Joe Lob sneaks in and gets the victory. And that is Last Flop Standing, and I think we're just about out of time, so we're going to call Cam. Oh, you missed it again. So
what'd I miss?
The whole game. So we're going to say thank you to our IT for having us at Improvamonium. We're comedy flops from the Ithaca area. Come check us out next Friday on our YouTube channel, #/ComedyFlops, as we support the Youth Farm Project. It's been a pleasure. Look forward to seeing the other casts. Thanks so much. Good night.